my name is Tammy Colon, and I am from Pasitos School in San Jose, California. We are a Spanish immersion school serving children from 2 years old all the way through 5th grade. In this video today, I'm going to be talking about a little bit about our background, about who we are, how we got started. I'll be talking about our program, our pedagogy, and our philosophies. And then finally, I'll be talking about language acquisition in young children and some of the experiences that we've had in the last 12 years of Pasitos. So, to get started, a little bit about Pasitos. We are located in San Jose, California. We have been around for 12 years. We currently have 2 locations with a total of 5 classrooms. 3 of the classrooms are preschool classrooms. 2 of the classrooms are multi-age, starting from 2 years and 9 months until entering to kinder. We have 1 classroom for children ages 2 to 3. Our programs operate a half-day program, a 3-hour half-day program from 9 to 12, and then also a full-day option. We're open from 7:30 in the morning until 6 in the evening to really meet the needs of full-time working families. In each classroom, in all 3 of the preschool classrooms, we have 2 teachers and 2 assistants. In both preschool classrooms, we have a 6-to-1 ratio. In our young preschool classroom, in the classroom for children aged 2 to 3, we have a 5-to-1 ratio. We operate on a traditional school year calendar. We start in mid-August and we go until the beginning of June. We have a week off in June, a week off in August, and we operate a 7-week summer session. We do enroll children year-round as space becomes available. And so how we got started. My business partner, Stephanie, and I, 12 years ago, we realized that there was a gap in the marketplace here in San Jose. My partner specifically was looking for a preschool for her daughter, who was 3 at the time. And while there were a couple of Spanish immersion preschool options available, there weren't any that really met her needs. At which point she contacted me. We really spent that first year in operation just getting our philosophy written, trying to figure out what our program was going to be. We both went back to school to get our education in child development. And then we came up with the program as it currently exists, mostly today. So let me talk a little bit more about our program and our philosophy and our pedagogy. There are a couple of key features to Pasitos that help us to stand out. One is that we are Spanish immersion. And I'll be talking more about the language acquisition piece in just a bit. Another part of who we are is that we are an emergent, child-centered, Reggio-inspired school. This means that we follow the children's interests. We don't have a set curriculum that we follow from year to year or that we follow from month to month. Our curriculum and our themes change depending on the interest of the children. We follow the children's interests. We allow the children to be creative. It's called Reggio-inspired because it's inspired by the programs of Reggio. It wouldn't be correct to say that we are a Reggio school because we are not in Reggio Emilia, Italy. A couple of the key features of Reggio schools are the relationship with the teachers. In our classrooms, we have co-teachers, so 2 teachers working together to do the planning, to plan the environment, to talk about the children, to talk about their needs, and then to figure out how to best meet their needs. Another important part of Reggio is the documentation piece, is how we are able to document the students' learning over the months and over the years that they're with us, and how we display that learning on the walls, in the classrooms, and to the children, and how we inform the parents as well. We are also an eco-healthy certified school, and this does permeate our culture here at Pasitos, where we only serve organic snacks. We don't wear shoes in the classroom. We talk a lot with the children about eating organic foods and about plastics, about the different types of plastics. We talk a lot about recycling, about reducing, and reusing. We are also a positive discipline school, which means that all of our teachers receive some training annually to attend positive discipline workshops and classes. All of our parents, at least one parent caregiver, is required to participate in a 10-hour minimum positive discipline class within the first year of enrolling with us at Pasitos. So along with that, we are also play-based and developmentally appropriate. We know that from the research in child development that children learn best through play. Young children, preschool age children, they learn best when they're interacting with the blocks. And with us as teachers, I train them and I work with them that they should be on the floor with the children, interacting with the children, and sometimes playing with the children and building the blocks with them, sometimes observing and taking notes, sometimes helping to facilitate problem solving between the children. Another important part of Reggio is the image that we have of the children. We believe that the children are capable and competent of solving their own problems, of using a wide variety of materials and media. It affects our practices and our belief systems in our school. So now I'd like to talk about language acquisition in young children and how our program follows best practices and the research. So in our first classroom, in our young preschool classroom, we enroll children as young as 2 years old, and they stay in that classroom until around 3.5. In that classroom, the teachers only speak in Spanish to the children. We do this if they enter at 24 months. There's a wide range of productive language that the children are currently engaging in. Some children at 24 months are extremely verbal and are communicating with us typically in mostly English or mostly Spanish, depending on the home background of the child. Our teachers, we're only speaking in Spanish though. We're only interacting with the child in Spanish. And the child, whether they're speaking in English or in Spanish, or whether they're nonverbal or extremely verbal, we're providing them with lots of rich experiences all in Spanish. We know that when they start learning another language, or if they have the already experience with Spanish at home, from a nanny or from a parent who speaks only Spanish to the child. We have many families that do practice the one parent, one language approach. We also have many families who practice Spanish at home and English outside of the home. We choose to only speak Spanish in the 2-3-year-old classroom because we really want to be focusing on the target language, on the minority language for the children as they're still developing these basic language skills. In our other 2 classrooms, in our preschool classrooms, we enroll children as young as 2 years and 9 months until they enter into kinder. In this classroom, our 3-hour half-day program, the first hour is in English, and the last 2 hours are full Spanish immersion. Everything in the afternoon, everything after lunch is also in Spanish. Everything in the morning for drop-off before the 9 o'clock start time, it's a mix of language depending, again, on the background of the families, whether the parents speak English or Spanish or a mix. Everything in the morning, it's an English time because here in San Jose, California, English is the dominant language. So we want to try to provide experiences in the minority language as well, which is why we have the rest of the day is a full Spanish immersion. Many people, parents, professionals will ask us, why do we choose to have that 1 hour of English? And really the answer is, why not? We know that the children are capable. We know that they're competent. We know that children can learn to be bilingual. And by having teachers who are trained and are intentional about their language use with the children, teachers can explicitly teach for language transfer. so that the activities that the children do during English time can also mirror the activities that they do during Spanish time. The teachers are also very intentional in their preschool classroom about whether to introduce an activity in English first or whether to introduce the concept in Spanish first. And we discuss about how long to reinforce that topic in that language before making that transfer to the other language, whether it's English or Spanish. Since we teach for language transfer, the children have the opportunity to gain academic vocabulary in both languages. I said earlier, we teach all of the academics through play. We are a play-based school. And when our teachers are interacting with the children, when they're sitting on the floor, when they're building blocks, they're able to build with the blocks, they're able to count the layers of the blocks with them, they're able to introduce words such as gravity. When the blocks fall down, we're able to talk about how the blocks are barely balancing, and we're able to use all this rich vocabulary in English and in Spanish, so we're able to really expand the children's minds. We know from research that children who are learning another language, that their brains are more similar to bilingual brains than they are to monolingual brains. We talk about this with our teachers about how the work that we're doing, the interactions that we're having with the children is physically changing the structure of the brains. By giving them the opportunities in 2 languages to learn, we're physically changing the structures of the brain, which is powerful and awesome. So we talk about this a lot. So at Pasitos, we really do what we can to take the best of what we have found in language acquisition for preschool. There isn't a lot of research local here in the US. There are a lot of studies about preschool, bilingual preschool children around the world, and we have relied on that body of research. In addition, we also use a body of research about child development, about developmentally appropriate practices to make sure that we are engaged in meaningful ways for children to grow and succeed and to learn. Not just in Spanish, but to learn about how to help, how to develop their social emotional competencies, how to problem solve, also basic reading, pre-reading, numeration, and all of these skills. One of the things that I think that makes Pasitos stand apart from other programs is that we are not just a preschool in Spanish, but we are a preschool with language acquisition. We have intentional language, Spanish language, into the preschool part of our day. So I hope you enjoyed this video about our program. If you have any questions about our program, our practices, or our philosophy, please feel free. I encourage you to include them in the comments below, and we would love to engage in conversation with you. Have a great day. Ciao.